Peter Schweizer, author of Clinton Cash, president of the Government Accountability Institute. Peter, you know more than anyone about these the dodgy dealings of the Clintons. Tell me why you think we should still care about it, even though they're kind of departing the scene, as it were.
No, I think that's a great question. I think it goes to the heart of the matter. Look, what the Clintons did is not just about the Clintons. The Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Global Initiative, these ramped up speaking fees while she was Secretary of State. If this is allowed to go forward unchallenged, not investigated in a serious manner for criminal conduct, we know one thing about Washington, D.C., and that is if you give political figures a way to make money in public service, it's going to be imitated. So what the Clintons have done is going to be the wave of the future. And if we don't deal with this seriously, there is no reason why 4 years from now we could not have a Secretary of Defense who comes into office and their spouse hits the lecture circuit, sets up a family foundation, takes money from defense contractors, takes money from foreign governments, and, you know, who can stop them? Because that's precisely what the Clintons did while she was Secretary of State. So the precedent and dealing with this right now is key, or it's going to change our politics fundamentally.
Britt, such a great answer. I couldn't agree with you more. And what strikes me about not just the Clintons are the worst example, but so many other politicians like this, there's a sense of entitlement, isn't there, that they're entitled to behave in this way. And that's the thing we've got to deal with as well.
Yeah, they feel entitled. And look, I think we have to be a little more sophisticated in the way in which we track what goes on in Washington, D.C. We've got this government shutdown going on, and certainly there are issues that are different between the two sides. I'm not minimizing those. But look, there is a business logic behind the fact that very little gets done in Washington, D.C. Politicians have to create a demand for their services. Let me repeat that. Politicians have to create a demand for their services. And they do that by not solving problems, by obscuring facts, which creates revenue-generating opportunities. So what I've just said for a long time, whether it relates to the Clintons or it relates to Congress, you have to look at what's happening not just on the policy level of what the policy stances are or what the politics are, but you have to look at the money flow. How is the money being made? And you make money in Washington, D.C. by extorting people and by trying to control the legislative agenda and not getting too much done.
Peter, that's so well put, and it reminds me that you wrote another brilliant book amongst many called Extortion that really brought that home to me. And you made the point just there, which is that when people talk about corruption, it's as if, you know, these outside interests are trying to bribe the politicians. It's often the other way around. Right. The politicians are extorting money from the businesses and so on to get rich. And you really set that out in Extortion. I'd love to have you back and talk about that in more detail. That's all the time we have tonight. But I really, really appreciate you joining us. Thanks, Peter.
Great to be on. Thanks.